Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
We're off to the movies, and it's a pleasure to welcome once again, pulling double duty, because I think it was it last week you're here, Peter?
It certainly was.
Yes, so that's my recollection as well. Yes, Gail can't join us this morning, but you've leapt into the breach, and you have a rabbity friend.
I do indeed. The film this week is Jojo Rabbit, a very strange title and for what is in many ways a very strange film. Now, it's billed as a satirical black comedy.
Uh-huh.
It's written and directed by our old friend Taika Waititi.
Is this the one where the Hitler thing?
That's the one.
Oh, really? Well, tell me more.
I'll
You've
tell
really
you more.
piqued my
Certainly I
interest.
will, of
Okay.
course. But, of course, Waititi's well known for various films. He's done the Thor Ragnarok, and also one I really enjoyed, The Hunt for the Wilder People.
Oh, wasn't it wonderful?
Really good film.
Yes.
Now, the film is actually based on a book, a thing called Caging Stars, written by a lady I've never heard of, Christine Loinens. But it's had wide publicity, of course, on television of late, which possibly explains why yesterday's first viewing was so very well attended. In fact, it was on 3 times yesterday, getting off to a good start.
Indeed.
Now, Jojo Rabbit is a young fella called Jojo Belzer. Now, he's brilliantly played by a young fellow called Roman Griffith Davis. Again, a name I've not come across before. He's an English lad. But he plays a 10-year-old boy who's living in Nazi Germany towards the end of World War II. Now, he's a typical German boy at the time. You know, along with his friends, he wears the brown uniform of the Hitler Youth. But somewhat unusually, he talks frequently with an imaginary friend, a caricature of Adolf Hitler himself. And, of course, Taika Waititi plays that particular part very well indeed, of course.
Of course.
Now, Jojo lives with his mother, Rosie. She's played by Scarlett Johansson. So here we have an Englishman, a Kiwi, and now an American. And we learn that Jojo's father is serving with the Wehrmacht, and that Jojo's sister has actually died recently from influenza. So there's a family of 2.
Yes.
One was a family of 4. One has died. One is away serving in the army. Now, along with all his friends, Jojo attends a Hitler Youth training camp, where he is tasked to kill a rabbit. And he's a somewhat tender-hearted young lad, and he's unable to do so.
Is
and
that some kind of initiation?
Yeah,
thing?
sort of. Yeah, they capture it and just throw it at him and say, well, you need to kill. You need to be trained to kill, and your first steps are to kill a rabbit. Now, he's unable to do it, and that's how he gets the nickname Jojo Rabbit.
Right.
Because he's ridiculed by the other boys, and that's his nickname from then on. He's also to have a live tossing of grenades. It's one of the things they have. And he picks up a grenade, arms it, throws it, it bounces off a tree, lands fairly close to him and explodes, and he receives injuries to his face and to his leg and is permanently limping after that. So he's an accident waiting to happen in many ways. Now, one day at home, he hears noises upstairs, and he discovers a young lass named Elsa Cord. Now, she is played by a young Kiwi actress, Thomasin McKenzie, and she's hiding in the attic. She is a teenage Jewish girl, that's it, who's been hidden up there by Jojo's mother. Now, he agrees to keep the secret, but in return, he wants to report Elsa, but because if he does so, he endangers his mother. So he actually agrees to keep the secret, but in return, he persuades Elsa to tell him all about the various Jewish secrets for a research come propaganda book that he is writing. Now, Elsa plays along with all of this and tells all sorts of outlandish secrets, such as that Jews can mind read, they can grow horns, and they're able to hang upside down like a bat. He takes all this on, and in his book, he sort of draws these various things of Jewish bats hanging upside down in the rafters. Now, in the course of these conversations, although he is aware that she is a Jewish girl and against all the thoughts that he might have about Jews, he begins to warm to her, and he discovers that she's got a boyfriend called Nathan. Now, Jojo forges a letter from the absent Nathan saying that Nathan, has found someone else and he's going to be breaking up with her. She's, of course, very upset with this, and Jojo hears Elsa crying, and somewhat overcome with guilt, he writes a second letter taking back what was said in the first one. And whilst all this is going on, he's still having further conversations with his imaginary friend Adolf Hitler, who insists that as she is a Jew, that Elsa is a monster. Now, Jojo then discovers that Mother is part of the resistance to the Nazi regime, because he sees her leaving free Germany, inverted commas, leaflets about the town. And probably as a result of that, one day the house is invaded by the Gestapo. Jojo's concerned that they will discover Elsa upstairs hiding, but in fact Elsa suddenly appears, talks to the Gestapo and convinces them that she is in fact Jojo's sister, the deceased sister. Now, Gestapo goes away, and some time later, Jojo's in the town square, and he discovers that his mother has been hanged.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's right. But he's quite devastated, and he returns home, and he stabs Elsa in the shoulder with his Gestapo knife, and on the understanding that maybe his mother's death is Elsa's fault, or she has something to do with it. But, the war's drawing to an end. Hitler is dead. Russian troops are in the town, and they're rounding up and executing all the Nazis. And at home, Elsa asks Jojo, who won the war? No, he doesn't want Elsa to leave, so he tells her that Germany has won the war. And he also confesses that he loves Elsa. And she tells him, well, yes, I love you too, but in a little brother sort of way. Jojo
I'd much rather you didn't stab me in the shoulder.
Well, no, exactly. But he eventually takes her outside, and there's a jeep going past with an American flag, and she realises, of course, that the Allies have won the war. And as the film draws to a close, we see them both dancing in the street in celebration. Now, the film was shot in Prague, which is an oldie, worldy type town in many ways, so the settings and the action are very, very realistic.
It's set in Bohemia, almost literally.
Effectively. Yes. I mean, performances from the actors are quite superb, and the film's already won one award, and it opened at the Toronto International Film Festival. Now, as for the film itself, I mean, I think the anti-Semitism depicted in the film will make some people somewhat uncomfortable, and the irreverent humour won't be to everyone's taste. And turning Adolf Hitler into a comical character may set uneasily with some of the older generation. For that was the last thing he was. He certainly wasn't funny at all. Absolutely. Well, all that aside, I think the film will surely draw the crowds, if only for the chance of seeing another Waititi film.
Yes. He's got the ability to stretch the boundaries, doesn't he?
Certainly
and
has.
Challenge.
Yeah, indeed he has.
He's an extraordinary movie maker.
He is a character, that's for sure. And the fact that it is a Waititi film means that there's quite a frequency of showings coming up. There's your schedule for this coming week.
I'll read that out later
Twice a week, and who knows how much longer it will run.
Indeed. Do you recommend it, sir?
I do, yes.
Jojo Rabbit. And that was a very interesting movie. Very
complicated plot. Very complicated.
Yes, but such is life.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you so much, Peter. Lovely to see you once again.
106.3 Beach FM.